Hello everyone, welcome back to Mike and Day. Today I'm going to be talking about the do's and don'ts when you visit America. Day said that I was serious in my last video. I'm going to try and be less serious, so we'll see how that works out. So do number one, you want to make sure that you tip when you go out to eat. It's very common in America to tip someone, especially a server, waiter, waitress, something like that. Usually you tip them 15-20% of whatever the bill comes out to. So it helps them because they're usually making a little less than whatever minimum wage is for that state. And it's very controversial. Not everyone agrees with tipping. People want to get rid of it. People don't want to deal with it because, you're underpaying your workers and people are expecting the patrons of that restaurant to basically pay them a living wage. So a lot of people don't like that, but that is commonplace in America. Tip number two, you always want to be on time, especially if you're meeting an American. I know it can be different based on whatever country you're from, but if you're meeting someone who lives in America and they give you a time, either show up at the time they give you or a few minutes early. Otherwise, that person will be very upset with you. If they're your friend, they'll understand. If it's for a business meeting, that's not too good. You want to make sure that you're early or you are on time. That would be the best thing to do. Tip number three, in terms of the do's, you want to make sure to obey traffic laws. I know each country has traffic laws, but some enforce it more than others, especially the United States. They are big enforcers of traffic laws, whether that be running red lights or going 10, 15, 20 miles over the speed limit. You will get pulled over, you will get a ticket, or depending on how fast or reckless you were driving, you can even get arrested. So make sure that you are aware of where you're driving, how fast you're driving, and how fast or slow you need to be going at that given moment. 4 is be kind to others and smile. A lot of Americans show satisfaction in smiling at one another. It's a good way without having any verbal communication. Just being able to smile at another person says a lot to them about your day and basically wishing them a good day. So don't forget to smile and actually try and be kind to others. A lot of people are irritable, but just don't mind them. They may be having a bad day or they just don't care to interact with people, but just try and be kind to people. They'll appreciate it and they'll probably reciprocate it back to you. So, and number 5 is, depending on the location you're in, try the local food, especially if it's a smaller town. It doesn't really matter the state, but eating local, you'll get probably the best experience you've ever had leaving the country that you're from, because it is a small business usually, and they're usually putting their heart and soul into whatever food they're making, as well as the service you're receiving. So it may be one of the best meals you ever eat. Okay? And now we're going to the don'ts of what you should not do when you come to America. Okay? You should not try to see everything, and don't try and do too much. A lot of people don't realize how big the US really is, especially when they get here. They think everything's just a drive away, or we can take a day to go to this state, and this state. It takes time. It's going to take a very long time to drive or ride a bus, unless you're flying everywhere, which is very expensive to do. If you're flying from one state to another, wouldn't really recommend that. Find a state, find a lot of things to do in that state, and try and do as much as you can within that state. I think that's the best option you have in terms of visiting America. Number 2 would be smoking wherever you want. Not everywhere you're allowed to smoke, especially indoors. Most, if not all, places within America you are not allowed to smoke in. Very select few places still allow you to even smoke inside. And there's a lot of laws prohibiting people from smoking outside of buildings or public buildings. You can still do it outside your house, or, you know, depending on if you own your house or not, you can do it within your house. But a lot of places don't even allow you to smoke outside of their buildings. So be cautious and be aware of where you're smoking. Number 3, make sure that you either know how to do the conversions if you're coming from a country that uses the metric system, or you use some kind of converter on your phone, or you bring like a cheat sheet, because you're not gonna see anything in terms of the metric system in the US. Maybe there's a town or something that does, but to my knowledge, they do not use the metric system anywhere in the United States. So make sure that you either know the conversions for things like miles, Fahrenheit, even pounds. Make sure you know those are the big ones, and you won't have as tough of a time getting around or trying to figure out and solve something if you're too far away, or you're trying to figure out how much this will cost. It just makes everything easier, and you don't have a headache at the end of the day because you're like, I don't know what to do. So definitely do that. Number 4 is leave personal space. I know there's a lot of countries out there where you may be prone to being in clusters or grouping up with people because you live in a major city, or the place in which you live is overpopulated, so everyone's on top of each other. But in the US, people do not like it when you are breathing down their neck, and they may give you either a nasty look, or they will tell it to you, and you may not like that. So make sure that you are actually leaving some space. I'm not saying you have to be 10 feet away, but some space in between to where the other person can't feel your presence. It's definitely needed, and a lot of people love it when people actually give that space. It makes it feel like, you know, you're respecting them, which will help you in the end because people will be nicer to you. So, and the last don't is don't physically touch others, especially people you don't know, whether that be like tapping someone on the shoulder, hugging someone if they give you good news. This is all for basically people you don't know. Just don't do that. A lot of people don't like it when you touch them or try to do anything with them, especially if they don't know you. Just don't do that. It's a really bad idea that could lead to some very bad things happening to you, either physical altercations or basically verbal aggression from someone because you touched them. So just don't touch them. If you have a question, just say it out loud. Someone will be happy to help you, I'm sure. Doesn't matter who. Even if you're at a store, just asking someone who's shopping there, who may shop there regularly, like you're trying to find an item or something, just ask. Maybe they know, maybe they don't, but you know, it's better than physically touching them. So, all right, that is it for the do's and don'ts. If you guys like the video, go ahead and like the video down below. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment about what you want to see next, or what you thought of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.